Godejohn was convicted in 2018 of first-degree murder in connection with Gypsy's mother's death in June 2015. The murder case of Nicholas "Nick" Godejohn and Gypsy Rose Blanchard is making news. Then couple planned to kill Gypsy's mother, Dee Dee, who had mistreated Gypsy physically and psychologically all of her childhood, in 2015. In an attempt to persuade her friends, family, and community that she had leukemia, muscular dystrophy, and other illnesses, Gypsy, a victim of Munchausen by proxy, was confined to a wheelchair despite being able to walk, made to take unnecessary drugs, and had her head shaved. Only after Godejohn killed Dee Dee in 2015 did the abuse stop. For their individual involvement in the murder, Gypsy and Godejohn were found guilty and handed prison sentences. Since then, they have spoken candidly about the crime in a few interviews. In her Lifetime documentary series, The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, Gypsy has revealed additional details regarding the murder and her connection to Godejohn. Here is all the information you need to know about Godejohn's current location after Gypsy was released from prison on December 28. The most important disclosures from Gypsy Rose Blanchard's prison confessions. How did Nicholas Godejohn and Gypsy Rose Blanchard cross paths? Before they met in person, Gypsy and Nicholas Godejohn spoke online for 2 years, according to BuzzFeed News. Gypsy initially found Godejohn on a Christian singles dating service. According to the Springfield News Leader, text messages shown in court in 2018 demonstrated the turbulent relationship the two had before Dee Dee passed away. They spoke extensively about beginning a new life together, which included getting married and having children. According to BuzzFeed News, they had already chosen names for their children. Eventually, in 2015, Gypsy and Godejohn went on their first date in person. That June, when Godejohn traveled from Wisconsin to Missouri to murder Dee Dee, they had their second face-to-face encounter. How the act was inspired by the proxy abuse of Gypsy Rose Blanchard in Munchausen. What offenses did Nicholas Godejohn and Gypsy Rose Blanchard commit? Godejohn killed Dee Dee in her house in June 2015. In Mommy Dead and Dearest, Gypsy claimed that she and Dee Dee had manicured each other the night before the murder, and that Gypsy had put Dee Dee to bed with a vow to be a good girl. Gypsy remembered that after Dee Dee went to sleep, Godejohn came into the house and stabbed Dee Dee to death as Gypsy hid in a toilet. 2 weeks prior to her mother's death, Gypsy said to court in 2018 she had second thoughts and changed her decision because she started having doubt and second thoughts. The Springfield News Leader reports that Gypsy ordered Godejohn to travel from Wisconsin to Missouri to kill Dee Dee when the two got into a fight a few days later. Gypsy said in court, "I did. I talked him into it," in response to the question of who persuaded him to kill Dee Dee, according to the paper. According to a search warrant obtained by the Springfield News Leader, Godejohn and Gypsy allegedly stole $4,000 from Dee Dee's room after her murder, checked into a Days Inn outside of Springfield, and then took a bus to Godejohn's family home in Wisconsin. "I felt horrible about it," Godejohn, who had no violent past prior to the murder, told ABC 2020's. "Stop crying, stop crying." Gypsy insisted on encouraging me when we were in the hotel room. "There's no justification for crying. It wasn't your idea. It was mine. I loved her, which is why I did what I did. I genuinely wanted to live a life with her." When Gypsy posted, "That bitch is dead," on Dee Dee's Facebook page on June 14, 2015, her pals became worried. They informed the authorities after failing to contact Dee Dee. Dee Dee's body was later discovered by police in her Springfield residence. Additionally, they were able to link the Facebook post's IP address to Gypsy and Godejohn's lodging in Big Bend, Wisconsin. According to the Springfield News Leader, Godejohn and Gypsy were taken into custody after police stormed their family home on suspicion of murder and felony armed criminal action. The Gypsy recounting relentless child abuse in new documentaries. Rose Blanchard, "I am who I am without apology." What was the prison term for Nicholas Godejohn? Gypsy was given a 10-year prison sentence in July 2016 after entering a guilty plea to second-degree murder for her involvement in her mother's death. According to the Springfield News Leader, Gypsy testified at Godejohn's trial in November 2018 that she devised the plan to kill her mother because it was the only way she could leave her abusive existence. The Springfield News Leader reported that although there was no question as to whether Godejohn killed Dee Dee, his lawyers had contended that Gypsy had coerced him into killing her mother and that his charges ought to be dropped in